Hi, you guys. Welcome back to Rocket City Yardstead. As you can hear, I am still under the weather, but we got to eat. And so we are going to make some Zuppa Toscana tonight. I think that's how you say it. I'm not totally sure. It's basically potato, sausage, spinach soup. I do a couple of things a little bit differently, and so I thought you guys might like to see this. If you happen to be like me, it's really hard to find Italian sausage that doesn't have corn syrup in it. And so we're going to take ground pork and season it up ourselves to make the Italian sausage. And we're going to use these ugly vegetables called celeriac instead of potatoes. I love these. I think they're so good. They have such a nice texture. They have a slight mild celery flavor. And if you can't have potatoes, they are a fantastic substitute. If you've been around, you might have heard me say that I have problems with potatoes. I've been experimenting the last year, and I do relatively okay with yellow-skinned potatoes. It's a very new discovery for me that I can eat those. And so I've spent years of my life looking at alternatives where I could use them. And so we use rutabagas, we use celeriac, we roast radishes, and they're all fantastic. But in this soup, I really love the celeriac. So first thing I need to do here is get these peeled. A peeler, like a vegetable peeler, does not work super well on these. So we are going to hand peel these. I say hand, we're going to use the knife. And just get down to the nice flesh of the rutabaga. I have to tell you, my rutabagas look like they froze. And I'm concerned about that because I have a lot of rutabagas in my fridge in my garage. And I've never had stuff freeze in there before, so I don't know what's going on. But they should be fine for soup. Okay, so I'm just going to rinse these off, make sure they're nice and clean, and then dice them up. We're also going to dice up a nice sized onion to go in this soup. I've got all my veggies chopped up, and so now we're ready to get going on our pork. So I'm going to add just a little bit of oil to my pan because my pork that I have is pretty lean. If you have a fattier ground pork, you probably wouldn't need any oil. So I'm going to get my pot on to about a medium low and get my pork in here, and then we're going to add all of our seasonings. I am going to need to go wash my hands before we do anything else. All right, my hands are nice and clean, and now we can add our seasonings. So we're going to add parsley flakes, about a teaspoon of parsley. And you guys know me, I'm an eyeballer. We're going to add about a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I'm going to add maybe half a teaspoon of black pepper. About half a teaspoon of fennel. I have fennel seeds here. And fennel is one of those things, you either really like it or you don't, or maybe you're somewhere in the middle. But if you don't care for the anisey flavor, add less fennel because that's where it's coming from. So now I'm going to add some red pepper flakes. I'm actually going to go a little heavier on these than I normally would because they're helping my head when I eat them. a little bit of smoked paprika, and some salt, and finally some garlic. I'm going to use minced garlic. You can also add onion, minced onion, or minced onion powder if you want, but I'm going to put a whole onion into this soup, and so I just don't really think it's all that necessary. But I'm going to grab a spoon to get some of this garlic. I will share a link to my favorite mix for Italian seasoning blend for you guys in case you're interested. But this is how easy it is to go from just plain ground pork to Italian sausage really quickly and not have some of those less desirable ingredients. Because a lot of the Italian sausages, apart from the corn issue, they have some preservatives and things in them that I'd rather not eat. And so it's nice to have options, right? So I'm just using my, I don't even know what this tool is called, but like ground meat tool, and breaking my sausage up and getting all of those seasonings all mixed in here. Now that the sausage is all broken up, I'm going to add my onions. I like to cook them with the pork. They can be softening up and getting nice and browned. So we're just going to cook the onion and pork until the pork is fully cooked. We're looking for it to brown a little bit, and then we'll come back and add the rest of our ingredients. Our onions are tender. Our pork is all cooked up. You can see we've got nice browned bits on the bottom of our pot. Those are going to come up when we add our broth and add some fantastic flavor to our soup. So let's add our next couple of ingredients. I scooped all of my chopped up celeriac into a bowl so it'd just be easier to pop in there. And we're going to add some chicken broth. I think I wasn't quite sure how much I wanted. And I'm looking at this and I definitely think I want more. But I don't think I need another whole quart. So I'm going to go see if I have any pint jars left. This is why I like to can my broth in multiple sizes, because I didn't want to have a couple of cups of broth left over that I needed to find something to do with if I opened a quart jar. So this is a great option here. I get to add what I want without having to open excess. So this is going to simmer probably like 20-ish minutes. We're just looking for the celeriac pieces to be fork tender, and then we will add our last couple of ingredients. All right, friends, our soup has been simmering for about 20 minutes and our celeriac is nice and fork tender. So now we are going to add about half a cup of cream, just enough to give it some creaminess. And several handfuls of spinach. I'm sure you all know the spinach will wilt down to nothing. And once our spinach is wilted down, our soup is ready to eat. I did adjust the seasonings a little bit. It needed some more salt, or at least to my sort of messed up taste buds it did. I hope I didn't make it too salty for my mom. But we're gonna let this spinach wilt down and see if we would like some more. So I like our soup to be nice and spinach full. A lot of times I also use kale in this soup instead, but I had spinach in the house and I would have had to go outside in the cold to pick kale, and I just didn't want to do that. Let's add another handful. This is really a preference thing, I think, here. I like it with a lot of spinach. We like to get our veggie count quite high. But if you like it with less spinach, don't put that extra handful in. This looks so good and it smells fantastic. It's gonna feel great on my sore throat, even if there is a little burn from the peppers. All right, you guys, it's time to dish some of this up and give it a taste test. It smells so good. I'm gonna make sure I get a little bit of everything in here. If you've never made Zuppa Toscana, it's so good. I know it's a recipe many of us associate with Olive Garden, but it's really easy to make at home and it's so good. If you can just buy your own Italian sausage at the grocery store and don't have to season it yourself. Use potatoes if you don't want to use celeriac or if you don't have access to it. I will say, if it matters to you, the celeriac is lower in carb than potatoes by quite a bit. So that might be something that's appealing to some people. And I used to make this with coconut milk when we were completely dairy free. And all of the strong flavors of the Italian sausage really mask the coconut flavor because I'm not a huge coconut fan and I couldn't tell. So just a couple of tips there on this soup, some different things you can do. But thank you for hanging out with me today. Sorry, my voice is still a mess. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and I will see you next time. Bye.